Everyone, today MMPC 012 block number 3 to 4 means today I have to discuss about your block number 3, that is unit number 9, and block number 4, that is unit number 10 and 11. 9 is your corporate level strategy, and unit number 10 is your implementation behavioral dimensions, and unit number 11 is your corporate governance. So, these 3 units I try to cover up for this today's sessions. Now, corporate level strategy, because as in the earlier session we have already discussed that strategy in all levels. So, now today specifically we have to discuss about the corporate levels. So, now from there for the what are the outlines of the particular units, that is your introductions. I have to say some of the definitions, then the nature and the scope of the corporate strategy, then type of the corporate strategies and stability strategies. There are so many strategies systems are there: stability strategy, expansions, diversifications, alternative routes of the diversifications, and finally your retrenchment strategies. So, this is our cover the unit number 9. Now, first things, as the organizations you have to formulate the strategies and different levels, as I said, and for different goal also, means different objectives should be there, and for the achievement of the set goals. So, according to Porter's, the strategies can be formulated in 2 levels. One is the business levels, that is basically the competitive strategies, and number 2 is your organization wide strategy, that is actually we are calling it a corporate strategy. And another strategy, that is your functional strategies. It is as per the Porter he has written in his theories. Now, corporate strategy deals with basically the board of directors are there, the chairman will be there. Most of the proposal will be granted by the board of directors, and finally it will be approved by the chairman, and that strategy will be starting. This is starting point of the strategy, and then finally it is downloaded to the middle management and lower management like this way, and for the implementation purposes. Now, the corporate level strategy, it is a set of overall the directions of the organizations which follow, means what the way the company will run, that and be decided by the corporate strategies. Competitive strategy, it is defined, identifies how to build the strengthen the company in the business. In the long term competitive positions, while the functions strategies identify the basic courses of the actions that each department will pursue in the attaining the goals. It means, if I paraphrasing the things, means basically every functions are defined, and all the functions what type of strategy should be there to achieve the set goals or set objectives. That means, and what course of actions to be taken, that is also to be departmental wise, it is already written. Means in future everybody has to follow all these instructions. Other way, basically if you see the corporate strategy, other way I can say it is a blueprint of the organizations for the growth purposes, where it can be reflected everything, or they reflected everything the organizations today where, and in the tomorrow where will be, and after 5 years where will be. That company, that blueprint will picturize the things, or the mirror, basically the mirror of the things. So, it concerns the choices of the business. Now, what type of products, it is either products or in the services. So, accordingly or in the market, based on this market, that you have to decide. Now, question is why corporate strategy? If it is not there, what will happen? Maybe the question may come in the mind, because it creates a value especially for the shareholders. Suppose if your strategy is good in the market, the shareholders or other the investors will be happy. They will see, yes, this company is growing, that strategy is very good. That is, it helps to create of the impressions. That is the main thing. Now, I am coming to the three major components of the corporate levels. What are the components? That is the growth of the directional strategy, portfolio strategy, and corporate parenting strategy. Now, we have to discuss one by one. What are the meaning of these things? Now, there is nature and the scope of the corporate strategy, where the organizations go through the inevitable progress, because some of the things are cannot predict as early as possible. So, you have to go through this, pass on through this, and time to time you have to modify some of the things. So, during the organizational life cycles, the management, those who have the growth, stability, their retrenchment strategies, how to overcome the things. If it is deteriorating the trends, that also in the performance, how to cope up the situations, all these things has to be matter. I think it has to be decided also. So, it must be a clear logic of how to corporate objectives will be achieved, because if I say something that this is the strategy, it is not a question of the only deciding the strategies. You have to give some logic also in behind it, how to achieve these objectives. That is the main things. So, those who are formulating the strategy formulators, they are very crucially, you have to see what will be the repercussion of these strategies, really will be achieved or not. Means the strategy should be realistic, achievables. Now, major economic reasons. What are the reasons for choosing the your parenting type of corporate strategies? Exploiting operational economics and financial economics of scope, that is one. Avoiding the uncertainty and increasing the efficiency, because sometimes some of the uncertainty is there. So, first before start the strategy programming or strategy formulations, you have to identify what the things are uncertainties there. Suppose in between, when the strategy is already implementing stage, suddenly you find out some of the uncertainty problem is there. That should not be, it will hamper your progress. Management skills creating corporate advantage, because that is why the management skill is coming in pictures. You have to skilled enough, the manager should be skilled enough to implement the strategies in a seamlessly they can implement all these things. Long term profit potential to be business. So, any business strategy or things, then you have to focus on your long term benefits. I mean the profit itself, the revenue should continue, the revenue should come at least coming 3-4 years. What are the projection or predictions has been decided. Now, the corporate level strategy, now again we have to see the non-economic reasons for the choice of your corporate strategy elements includes dominant view of the top management, employee incentives to diversify, the maximum management compensations, that also to be considered, desire for more power and the management control. Then another is your ethical considerations, and finally corporate social responsibility is also basically is all are the non-economic reasons, but still it is all are important at the time of your strategy, part of the strategy elements. Now, type of corporate strategies. Now, corporate level strategies are also your termed as your grant strategies, because these things are already granted. So, there are 4 type of generic corporations strategies, that is they are the stability strategies, that means stable, your company is stable, make no change to the organization's current activities. So, there is no change, whatever the past is going on, considering your profit margin, your revenue and your all aspect, there is no change is required. So, that type of strategy you can say it is a stability strategies, no change is required as on date. Then growth strategies, that is for the purpose of the expand the organization activities. You have to expand the activities, you are projected in this way. So, that is your growth strategies. Now, retrenchment strategies means you have to reduce the organization's level of the activity. Some of the activities you have to reduce it, or maybe similarly when the activities is reduced, mean manpower is also to be reduced. So, that type of strategy we can say retrenchment strategies. Another strategy is there are combination strategies, where both the things are considering the combination of above two strategies, your growth strategies and the retrenchment strategies both are clubbing the things, and you make a separate strategy, that is a combination of strategies, combination strategies. Now, stability strategy maintains its current business portfolio, maintains the level of your satisfy with the growth. It focuses on the fine tune, basically you have to focus on the find how to adjustment, how to adjustment the things, that is why we are saying the fine tuning. Its business operation improves the function of the efficiency, so that it can improve the functional efficiency can be improved. Organizations follow the stability consolidation strategy, because stability some extent we can say it is a consideration purposes, but that time there is no change, nothing has to be done. Let us see the scenario, present scenario in the market. You have to keep in watch all these things, market, your economy, present conditions, your manpower, resources, but you are in watching which best can we do in near futures. So, that stage the consolidation stages, or we can say the stability stages. Decide to serve the same market with same products. So, we have to see the same product and same market, how we can do it for betterment. Continues to pursue the same objectives with a strategic improvement of functional performances, and then concentrates its the sources in a narrow product market for developing a meaningful competitive advantage. These all are the area to be focused, and fine tuning is required. Now, businesses run different conditions. You have to see the conditions which are the favoring your stability strategy. Businesses run, however, the range of products offered and the markets served remain unchanged. So, an organization's strategy might choose the stability when if the environment is volatile due to turmoil in industry or the economy due to the uncertain conditions. So, that time you have to that because of this volatile natures, you have to say some of the strategy is requirement. Another things conditions are there is a environmental turbulences is minimal, and the organization does not foresee any major threats to itself and the industry concerned as a whole. Suppose maybe coming 2 years there is no problem at all in the market. What are the market share percentage is okay, what are the profit margin is, what are the coming growth as per the requirement, it is now almost going on as per the desired levels. So, that case can be continue, we can be continue for the business. So, that is the things you have to decide. You have to see, you have to forecast the things, and you have to basically you have to concern about these things. Now, the organizations just finish a period of rapid growth and needs to consolidate its gain before pursuing the more growth. Suppose the continuously last 2 years it has performed any good, everything is things, as a rapid growth is there. So, now it needs to consolidate, you have to think over it, shall we continue or not. So, that is the time period is there where you can prepare your strategy as a think tankers to which to be the futures. The organization's growth ambitions are very modest and needs to be contested with the incremental growth. The industry is a nature, is a mature stage which few or no growth prospects, and the organization is currently in a comfortable position in the industry. So, these all are talking about, we are talking about the conditions, different conditions. Now, we have to see the approaches to stability strategies. Organizations adopt different approaches, the stability, consolidated strategy, and some of the we have discussed, that is a holding strategy, then your stable growth, harvesting strategy, profit and the end game strategies, all are different approaches. Now, coming to expansion strategies, it helps the organizations to maintain their competitive strategies, competitive positions, successful completions, and survive and the flourish. Expansion strategy provides a blueprint or the business organizations to attain long term growth objectives. It allows them to maintain their competitive advantage, even in the advanced stages of the product and market evolutions. Now, organizations go for the expansions. So, organizations having a high growth objectives, new opportunities in the environment, then market leader trying to continue being a market leaders, volatile situations, surplus resources and regulatory environment. Now, intensifications involves the expansion within the existing business. Intensive expansions strategy, that is basically your safeguarding the present situation within positions and expanding the current product market space to achieve the growth target. Now, there are three ways that the organizations can use for intensive expansions: market penetrations, market development and product development. Means how to penetrate in the market and have to see the market in the development, and product development means how to increase the productions. Ansof's product market expansion grid, there is one of the theories are there. According to Igor Ansoff is one of the writers, one of the author of these definitions. He has already prepared some of the definitions. There are three distinct strategies achieving the growth through the intensifications route. There are different routes are there. Through this route you can start your business or market. Which are the routes? First route is your market penetrations. You have to capture the market, you penetrate in the market. Then another route is market development. You have to develop your market. That is another way of strategies. Third is your product development. You have to increase your productions. That is also that is another strategy. For example, the China has already that strategy they have taken. They increase the productions, product development purposes. This is the way they can capture in the world trading purposes. Another strategy intensifications, that another route is there, that is the diversifications. You can diversify your product and enter in the market and you capture the market. Now, there is some table is there. I am just showing that on exhibit table is there. There is a grid systems are there. Market products, current market and new market. That is the way you can analyze the things. So, current productions, what the current product you have, and then you see the market penetrations, and new market is your basically your market development, which I already discussed. Same thing, now it is put in a tabular forms. So, there nothing is, it is a self explanatory, you can see it from the table. Now, I coming to integration strategy, that is a very important. Integrations itself to sum of, you have to add on the things together. So, it means expanding the externally by the your combining with the other organizations. You can combine with the other organizations and do the business. That is a combination of the involvements, or we can say the associations. You have to associate associations, integration of the among the different organizations, and it is basically the essentially driven by need for the survival. Suppose one of the company is feeling, no, my market is now down, I cannot survive in the market. So, better we can shake hand, we can have a join with the other big companies. So, then my survival conditions can be removed, I will be at par in the market. So, that is the way he is just joining the other company as a joint venture, as a franchisees, as a licensing, whatever the way he can join and start the business. That is another of the strategies, that is we can say that is a integration strategy. You have to integrate with the others. That is for another, the merger, acquisitions, as we already earlier we can that all these terms are normally common for the mergers, acquisitions. These all are the part of your combination strategies. Assets and the liabilities, so what are the existence assets, what are the assets you have, what are the liabilities you have, are taken over by the acquiring companies and the other companies. That is acquisitions. You can tie up with the other companies. Okay, please, what about my productions? This is my financial conditions, manpower. You can take over the things, and whatever the profit will be there, that can be shared. So, that is the way you can also acquire the companies like this way. Basically, for this survival purposes, you can market में टिके रहना है. Basically, the market में you can have your market shares should be intact. Basically, sometimes the new organizations entirely, it is basically the considerations or the combination of the two or more business units to form a entirely new organizations. When both the company has joined, so it is another is forming a new company. So, this move will make all the organizational business entities. Now, purpose. Now, coming to try to clear the concept, what is the purpose behind it for the integrations. Main things, you increase the market share, as I said, avoid the cost, because if your cost margin, you have to minimize the cost, definitely you have to join with the other companies. Developing a new product, sometimes maybe your manpower, your skilled, your expertization is not there in this field. That case you can join with the other companies, those who are already expert, those are already in the market. So, that way you can also join. Reduce the risks of the entering a new business. Suppose you are hesitant to enter in the market because you do not know, some uncertainty is there, unpredictables, your product will be accepted by the customer or not, it will be really marketable or not, that some doubts are coming in mind. So, okay, no problem, you can join with the other companies, those who are already in the market, similar type of product, you can join with them, and you can also circulate your product, you can also distribute your product through this company also. So, this is the all these things are basically your the purpose of the integrations. Now, coming to diversifications. Now, diversification means moving in new lines. You have different type of products you have to launch, which are your core business. What are your core business? Apart from that, that will be there. Now, you have to diversify. You have to thinking the new product to be launched in the market, so that your revenue margin can be increased. So, it is creation of a technically I can say the management languages, if we say that is a creation of higher values, means the profitability, higher values in the sense that is it means the profitability and the stock. You have enough stocks and profitability is there. So, that is your value will be, your product value will be increased in the market, not only in the nationally, internationally also, global market increase, the value will be increased. So, that is the basically the diversification strategies are there. Now, there are two type of diversifications types. One type is your related to diversification, there is a concentrics, you have to concentrate particular things. Another is unrelated diversifications. It is not exactly directly your product, but you are supporting some of the things. That is a conglomerated your diversifications. Now, I have to talk about the alternative routes of the diversifications. Now, diversification straightway we can understand that is the different line of productions. Now, see the alternative routes. What are the alternative routes? That is, suppose for example, you are not capable to product in new items. That type of scientists and that type of engineers, or maybe the product knowledge, expertization is not, you don't have, but you are willing to start some of the new products. What I will do? Straightway you can merge or acquisitions. Merger or acquisitions are coming in pictures. So, that is actually here, I am talking about the alternative routes. Suppose you are not capable, you are not able to product a new product, no problem, don't worry, you can merge with the other companies. So, that is the another route or alternative route, you can say it. Now, mergers and acquisition is involved the process of combining the two companies into one. Both two companies are joining and forming new companies. That is now it is identified. There is lot of examples are there. There is a your Hindustan Brown Brewery and the ABB that joined as Asia Brown Breweries and your Hindustan companies. They joined and finally it is the ABB. There are a lot of examples are there. Two companies has joined. Maybe they have declared as a new name, but earlier is a different identity. Now there is one common identity is there. So, combination of two or more business is try to achieve the basically synergy. Now, so far we have heard the energy. Now, what is the synergy? Synergies means when the two or more energies are joined together. So, and the same directions, we call it a synergy. Means tremendous energy is there. That is called your synergy. So, mergers happens when two companies join forces. So, there are two companies, both the company are mathematical, all are the capable of particular this product, the know-how is there, technology is also there, now they are joined together. So, that means both the energy are clubbed, that case we can say that is synergy. Now, coming to acquisitions. Acquisition is the purchase of one company, one organizations by another company. That is how we can say the acquisitions. Acquire, basically it is coming from the acquire. And relationship between the two companies is different based on their, it is not exactly the mergers. But in this case, it will be different. Now, joint ventures, we have to because we have to clear about all these things, acquisitions, mergers, joint ventures, integration. So, all these things are should not be clubbed. It is everywhere some differences are there. Now, joint ventures is the two or more organizations are form a separate independent organizations. So, that we can say it is a joint ventures, and contractually agreement will be there. Both the company have a some of the agreement and they have to sign it. Maybe that joint venture can be for 2 years, can be 3 years, can be 5 years, like this. Initially it will be things, and it can be renewed afterward also. If the both the companies are feeling, then okay, we can have a better relations, so we can continue with these things. So, and what are the profit and loss? That can be shared by the participants. Then the joint ventures can be a 2 companies, can be 3 companies, can be 4 companies also. All the 4 companies, they are joined and make a different companies, but they are by this the agreement they can declare how much share should be distributed like this way. For example, Maruti Suzuki, I think everybody knows the Maruti Suzuki. Initially it was 5 years agreement with the Japan Suzuki. The Japan Suzuki and Indian Maruti, they have joined together. That is a joint ventures. 5 years contract was theirs. Then after that, our Indian government has, since the Maruti company is self-sufficient, now they can indigenously they can prepare their car manufacturings. So now that joint ventures has now stopped. Now Suzuki is not there so far. Now you see it is a Maruti Udyog Limited. It means now it has separated. Earlier it was joint venture, now it has separated. So that is one of the example. Now long term contract. Because any strategy, when you are planning for the diversification purposes or something, so you should have a long term contract. The 2 or more organizations enter in a legal contract for a specific business purposes. So a buyer and a supplier generally signs such type of agreement. Now coming to alliances. So far we have heard lot of alliances, strategies for the alliances. Alliance means 2 or more organizations share the resources. What are the resources? They are now sharing the things, capabilities and the distinction competencies, and to achieve the sum of the objectives. The company identity is separate. They are same thing, but now they have alliance. Okay, I will give you my resources, so to speed up the productions. That is the basically now such alliances aim to world market dominance within a product categories. Sometimes some of the products are heavily demanded by the worldwide. So that time maybe both the companies are decided, okay, we can share our resources and do the business. So that type of, sometimes you have to alliance of the strategy. Again it is some sort of agreement natures, so that we can dominate in the market, in the world market. So that is another type of strategy, that is your alliances. Here actually we are discussing lot of strategies are there, but within the strategy there are different formation of the strategies we are discussing. Now another strategy is your very important, and I think we have already aware of all these things because of the downsizings, your retrenchment is going on, lot of job cuts are there. So it is very important as on date. That is retrenchment strategies. It is helps an organizations operations and cut expenses in 2 ways. That is simply you have to continue our operations or maybe increase the operations and cut the expenses. Now question is how to cut the expenses? You have to manpower, or maybe your liabilities. What the way? That is the main thing, because here now coming in picture is your economies. So it is the adopt, but why retrenchment strategy is required? Because you are going in a losses, profit margin is not at par the levels, so that you have to go for retrenchment strategies. However, it is not acceptable by any organizations when you have to retrenchment some of the employees or job cuts. It is not advisable. It is not good looks, but there is no way out. You have to survive in the market. There is the competitions. So it adopts a retrenchment strategy to downsize or restructure the business. Suppose you have to your business, you have to restructure your business. So that's why you have to downsizing your, you have to cut the job, some of the jobs activities. There are the three major variants of the retrenchment strategy. Now we are coming, what are the variants? Turnaround strategies. Means when the consecutively 3 years your company is lower, you are declining, your profit margin is not there. What you will do it? Suddenly you can change your CEO, or maybe some different strategies, you can mergers or acquisitions or alliances, whatever the way you are try to cope up the situations. That is called your turnaround. You are turning around means the situation, whatever the situation was there, now you are in a better situations. That strategies you are taking. So that is one of the variants, your turnaround strategies. Number 2, survival strategies. As you know, the survival strategy, you have to join some company. When you are feeling you are not able to pay your staff payments, your salary you cannot give it, your productions are not increasing, in that case you have to go for the survival strategy, means you have to join some of the other companies. Now liquidation strategy, suppose you are financially you are not very, your workflow, your working capitals are going down, financially you are losing. So that time also you have to take a different strategy. Now coming to, as I said, the corporate strategy is a blueprint, because from where you can easily assess where you are, your company, you can foresee your future strategy of the companies. Now competitive strategy is another strategy is there. Competitive strategy is very much relevant to present conditions. The strategy that determine the organizations will compete in a specific business or the industries. That is your competitive strategy. Your strategy are competitive or not, your product will be sellable or not, your product will be accepted by the customer or not. That is the main things. That type of strategy are your competitive strategies. Now competition strategy, as I already declared, when I already discussed here, now specifically written, the combination strategy may include the combination of two alternatives, that is our market penetrations and market development. So when you combine it, there are combination strategies. Diversifications already we have discussed, the organizations, these all are the keywords, basically all are keywords. If you go through this, you can have, there are small definitions. Now expansion strategies are, I am not repeating all these things, already we have already discussed. Now here actually I have to elaborate, give a more emphasis on this thing, the functional strategies, because it is a operational strategy. These are the short terms, goal oriented and goal directed decisions and action of the organization's various functional departments like this. There is generic corporations strategies. These are 4 variants are there, that is your corporate strategy, namely the stability, growth, expansion, retrenchment, diversifications strategy, combinations. These all are called the generic corporate strategies, or we can say the grand strategies. These are the grand strategies. Now some of the important questions are there. It is your various questions, expansion strategy on these things. And now I am coming to your implementations and control. That is important. How to successful expansions, execution and implementations. Here actually I try to highlight the things. In the world, most of the projects are failed because of bad implementation systems and strategies, you can say it. If your implementation or the execution plan or strategy is not good enough, definitely your project will be failed. So it is a study says basically. So once the structure of the established, it is easy to change it for the reflection of the philosophy, and basically the management and the owners, and changing it may be perceived by them as threatening, the conditions are threatening conditions. So, that time you have to see how to survive the things. So, that is why the structure is very important in considering the in regards to your implementations. Now, leadership one of the aspect is there, because implementations and the leaderships are correlated basically, because without leaderships you cannot implement the things. So, to guide and to influence into and actions. So, that is why your leadership skill is required. Now, to accept on the quality and the your effectiveness of the leader, be the father of the and mother like this, depends on the progress of the fortune of the family. Suppose in the family, normally the growth and any functionality, it depends on the parents, students' performance, sons or daughters' performance, schooling, what about the food, health, everything. It depends on the parents' leaderships, I mean their jurisdictions. Similarly, in the organizations also, what the leaders are theirs, just like a father or we can say the mother. So, accordingly you have to say this. Now, some of the holistic and the practical approaches of the leaderships as the behavioral dimensions of theirs. Now, I am next slides I go the critical tasks which are implied in the organization strategy. The top management has to determine the degree of the authority, how much authority you have to provide, so that he can take his own decisions. Now, we have to see some of the benefits and the cost of this centralization and the decentralizations, because sometimes if all the authorities, all the directions and power are centralized, what will happen? In the small company, it can be regulated, no problem, you can manage it, it is manageable. But when the company is different units is big, it may not be possible. So, that is why the decentralization is required. You have to distribute the powers to the seniors, so that they can perform the jobs in a very cohesive manner. So, centralized and the strategies, decision making, authority at the corporate level, and delegates only the operating decisions to the unit managers. So, what are the unit managers there? As I said, suppose the plant number 1, plant number 2 and plant number 3, there are 3 different plants are there, and every plant have a managing directors or some CEOs there. So, that should have a correlated and different power that you have to exercise, you have to give authority, so that they can run their units as per their wish, as per their own way, they can take the decisions like this. They should not be take a permission from the headquarters always, that type of situation are there. So, it is a good practices for the decentralized systems for the where the different units are there. Now, again you have to see the degree of authority, and merits and demerits are also there in the decentralization. Sometimes it may create a different issues are there in the decentralizations. Particular one unit are performing very good, and other units are not at par with these levels, not good maybe, but they are not, because of the competitions there are sometimes the relationships may be break up, one unit not supporting the other unit, it may be happen. So, that is the some of the part your demerits parts. Coordinations, because any implementations, coordination is very much important, because to get it success any project or any strategy, whatever the objectives. So, definitely you should have a good coordinations, integrations, and the arrange of the coordinations in the units. All the other units should have a supervise, and jointly they can whatever the issues will come, they can sort it out as far as possible. General manager can also achieve the coordinations of the strategic efforts through the informal meetings. Suppose sometimes maybe the notice is not there, even though Suppose unit number 1, unit number 2 and unit number 3, different general managers there. They can internally, they can through the Zoom meetings or Google Meet, they can start the meeting something. Okay, what is your production is going on, things. So that is the way you can cooperate to each other. That thing is very much required. That things are basically missing nowadays. Standing committees and the 6-month or quarterly you can have a general meetings. So that is the way some strategic planning is required. Budget, review meetings are all these things required. So this is the way you can inbuild coordinations, team, so that you can minimize your bridging, what the gaps can be minimized, and the right way you can start your business. Now, improve some of the things, how to improve the things. So it is perfectly possible to improve myself. I can hope to improve others also by the personal examples of the masses. So here actually we have to see there is a philosophical word. It's basically philosophy. If I suppose I want to change some things, so definitely first of all I have to change myself. So if my actions, my activities are perfect, so other will definitely follow the things. So it will improve. Before they improve, so personal examples are very important. It is give a message to the others. So I am just giving some of the important part, the units where the really relevant. So leadership is basically the capacity to frame the plans which succeed in your faculty and pursue the other things. So the definition has two parts: one, the capacity to the frame of the implementations, and the leadership deals with the top lines, because the leadership is always in the top lines and what the things I want to accomplish. So this is the main things. Management is doing the things right, leadership is doing the right things. Now some of the function of the leaderships as given. There are three things: needs of the tasks, what are the tasks are there, the need of the group, what the group should do, and finally your needs to the individuals. Or rather we can say this, you see that diagram is this very important. The circles are intersections, I mean interconnected. All the circles are interconnected each others, means dependent each others. So that is one of the leadership models you can see. Authorizations and sometimes the participative, because participation is very important. It depends on the tasks of the changing situations. If you are planned in such a way, involvement or participations is very important, and that is the one of the quality of management leaders. It comes naturally from within. Suppose if you have a good leaders, others, your subordinates will be automatically joined in these things, and they can also follow the things. So participative, I mean the autocratic and the democratic, both the things are in the part way. So leaders can work 12 to 14 hours in the day, and there is a very punctual, integrity, honesty, and fragility and courage and the persistence, all these things quality in the leader should be. Now let's come to different cultures. First things, you see the culture is one of the important to implementation and for the control the things. Language barriers, as we know, they speak differently, languages barriers are there, and different customs and the traditions in our country. So different religions, it have a different ethics origins. So lot of diversity is there. Even though within these things, how better we can perform, there are so many steps are there. First things, the leader should have a good grasp and pride in the pride of the long history and cultural ethos of the India. Leaders should know what are the culture in our Indian cultures, different languages, what are the barriers are there. They should aware of all these things. First things. Second is, the leader should have your rudimentary knowledge. He should have a knowledge, good knowledge they should have, and the recognition for the revitalizations, creation of a new visions, institutionalizations of the changes. Suppose that type of gel is required, yes, I have to change the situations. Now, some of the model is there. There are conceptual skills, human skill, technical skills. In which level, how much it is required. That is the thing. Basically, in the top levels, the human skill is conceptual and the human skill is required. But in the lower level, those who are in the junior management, definitely they should have a skill, technical knowledge they should have, rather than your conceptual and the human skills. Now, ethics and the values ensure the organizations does not adopt the shortcut methods to achieve the success, instead of the stresses in the concept of the sustained success. So, ethics is one of the important. You have to have a right or wrong decisions. You have to take it. You should know which is right and which is wrong. So, ethics are coming from there only. Value, one of the value systems should be there. That is why the honesty, fairness and that type of things are coming. The value statements, normally it is include the value of the customers. You have to give some value of the customers. Then commitment towards the business practices, like the quality and duty towards the shareholders, suppliers. That is the following the your environmental protections and the norms. Now, some of the questions are there in the implementation, how to implement the things, things. Now, we have shortly, briefly I have to say some of your corporate governance, because there is as a business, it is basically your integral part of a business life. You should have an internal structure and the external structures of there. Governance means the transparency. In the other, I can say the transparency should be there. It helps to ensure the efficient organizations and have been the corporate governance, and there is a code of practices of theirs. There is some evolution there. As you know that the Chanakya is mentioned, your Arthashastra, he has already written a book also, Arthashastra, we can say the Chanakya. He related to some of the business organizations is making, because first things well-being of the subjects and your welfare of the subjects. Then corporate governance basically the believes the public good should be ahead of the public good, private good and the resources, because what are your public money, as we say, you cannot waste it, just like you say the corruptions and your lot of money for the own purposes you are using, which are the public money. It should not be. It is already written by the Chanakya. Chanakya is already there. The good king, he always do for his praja, I mean the things. So that is the good governance. Basically, good governance means you should not waste the public money. You have to do for the publics, and you should not be used for the personal benefits. That is basically the basic idea of a governance, good governance. Business organizations should be followed. Any organization should follow the proper utilization of the assets. What are the assets you have to utilize. Even in the wastage of the printers, or in the sometimes we are wasting the papers. It is all a public money, you can see within the organizations. Sometimes we are wasting the things. It should not be. Accountability should be there, and transparency also should be there. Then maintenance of the wealth and the resources. What are the things that you have to maintain it? Even in the computer or in the electricity, water, suppose water tapping is going on. Nobody is maintaining the things. It is also a wastage. It is a crime basically. So we have to have a look after all these things. Protection of shareholders' wealth. Suppose those who are invested in our company with a view some of the growth. So we are not focus on this shareholders' wealth. That is also not a good governance. So experts felt that good governance is a useful indication of the good performance in the market systems. So framework of the effective corporate governance, I mean it is aligned, it is to gain the recognitions of the gradually opening up in the global market economy. Investment and that international financing and the liberalizations. Here I can give you one of the examples. Now see, earlier in our India, maybe the 15-20 years before, nobody was interested to invest in the India. Everybody was saying, no, we cannot invest in it. Now you see, because of the transparency, different laws and different your systems, tendering systems, everything are now so much transparent and so rigidity. Laws are coming. So that's why most of the investment are coming from the internationally nowadays. Now everybody are try to invest in, because they have a belief on the systems. Yes, the country is very good, and there's no corruptions, and there are all the things are transparent. So investors will be happy to see these things. So that type of things are required in things, so that we can capture the financial market from the globally. As we lot of institutions are there. Initially, the corporate governance has evaluated. Initially, it started from the USA and Canada, 1990. Then after that, your Cadbury committee has been decided in UK 1992. Then after that, so on, and then now as on date we are in the UK, that is the OECD, that is your economic cooperations and the development. It is now continuing in 2004. We are just following these things. Now ethics are basically the business ethics, where it deals with a certain set of values of the organizations that you have to follow it, and socially it should be responsible behavior of the organizations, so that everybody can say yes, he is from this company, he is from this institute. Okay, that value will be there. That is basically the ethics of the purposes. Straight away you can say, I am proud of this. I am I am the IGNOU, I am working in IGNOU. That is the feeling, that is the business ethics basically. Everyone, okay, IGNOU is very good. Open University, exam is conducting very right way, very good organizations. So this is the ethics, business ethics like this. So public can be recognize the things. Some of the common features are there. It's guided by the organizations, and the definitions are there about the corporate social responsibility and so on. Accountability, fairness, transparency is all of the part of the pillar of the corporate governance. Accountability, fairness, transparency, integrity, and social responsibility. There are 5 pillars for the corporate governance. So I think it is almost many of the things I have covered up on slide 1, or last slides are there. After that I can complete. The changes of the corporate governance are the board appointments, then the performance evaluation of the directors, appointment of the independent directors, accountability towards the shareholders, and role of the promoters. Finally, transparency and conflict of interest. These are all the things I have noted. What are the challenges basically? This is very important, because my question may come, what are the challenges in the corporate governance? The state you have to write it. You can elaborate what things. This is the main slides, are very important slides from the question point of view. Now, okay, I think now almost I have covered up. These are some of the relevant questions are there. So I think now these sessions I have covered up. Okay, thank you very much. We are looking the. Thank you.